So go ahead and tell the jury what it is you do when you do a cell phone extraction. What is that?
A cell phone data extraction is just that there's data maintained on cellular telephones or smart devices. It's maintained differently on either one. We use a software or a device to extract the base data from the device using various methods from the various software or equipment that we're using.
So for instance, if you have like a Samsung phone or an iPhone, do you need different computers to extract the data off those?
At the time of this, yes, ma'am. At the time of this case, we needed my agency used, or I used, we have several different methods that we use, but I was used the Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to do an iPhone, which is a software that runs off of a laptop PC, and we had a UFED, which is a device, a universal forensic extraction device, also made by Cellbrite to do Android devices, like Samsung phones.
All right, so during your investigation, were you given previous extractions?
I was. I was not given the extraction. I was given the reports of the extraction, which is when you load the extraction into Cellbrite Physical Analyzer, in order it to make any sense without that software, you have to generate a report. And I was given the reports from extractions that Glenn County PD did.
All right, so Glenn County PD, were they able to give you the raw data?
They were not. I asked for it, and Detective Marcy said he did not maintain the data at that time. Since then, he has been told that it's probably best to maintain the data.
Okay, so you got the report, not the data?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to work with the report, though, due to the Cellbrite system?
I was. Investigator Marcy had generated the reports in what's called a UFED reader report, which can also be loaded into the Physical Analyzer software and reviewed.
All right, so for the purpose of your analysis on May 11th, 2020, did you look at the report, the extraction reports for Travis McMichael's cell phone?
I did.
And did you look at the extraction reports from William Bryan's cell phone?
I did.
All right. Were you able to find any communication between Bryan's cell phone and Travis McMichael's cell phone on February 23rd, 2020?
Not from that extraction, no.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to move you then forward to May 11th of 2020. Did you work with Agent Seacrest along with Mr. Bryan and his attorney, Mr. Goff?
I did.
Okay. And did Mr. Bryan consent to the download of his phone at that time on May 11th, 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so, but this of course is a download as the phone is on what date?
May 11th.
Okay, so this is May 11th that you're downloading this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what were you able to notice as far as Greg McMichael's cell phone number and Mr. Bryan's number?
In the original extraction reports, neither McMichael appeared as a contact. In the May 11th extraction, Mr. Greg McMichael appeared as a contact in Mr. Bryan's phone.
Right. Now, also on May 11th, 2020, were you present during the entire time Mr. Bryan was being interviewed by Seacrest?
No, ma'am. I was up there for the very beginning. Mr. Bryan agreed to let us download his phone, and I took his phone in the hopes that we would be able to get it back to him at the end of the interview. The extraction ended up taking longer than we had thought it would, so we weren't able to do that.
All right. So May 11th, were you also interested in any surveillance video that Mr. Bryan may have had?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tell the jury what happened with regard to the night owl surveillance video.
Agent Seacrest, after the interview, came to me and said that they had surveillance at their house, and the video had caught some, might have caught some information related to the case. So I accompanied Mr. Bryan, Mr. Goff, Amy Elrod, and Agent Seacrest to the house, to 307 Burford, I think it's 307, the Bryan's house, to attempt to download the videos.
All right, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to go ahead and show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 194. May I approach your honor?
Yes.
So, Special Agent Kelly, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 194. Are you able to recognize that document?
Yes, ma'am. It appears to be a true and correct copy of a GBI waiver of constitutional rights form.
All right, what's that in regard to?
It's the Night Owl digital security system at the Bryan's residence.
All right, and who witnessed that?
Well, I signed it as the witness. Mr. Bryan signed giving consent.
All right, and did he sign freely and voluntarily?
He did.
All right, this time the state would tender into evidence State's Exhibit 194.
No objection.
No objection.
No
objection. It's admitted.
State's Exhibit 194, and this is for the Night Owl video?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and what is the date we have here?
5/11/2020 at 18:54, which is military time for 6:54 p.m.
Okay, so once he signed the waiver and agreed to have his Night Owl surveillance system downloaded, you went out to the house, what happened?
Initially, neither Mr. Bryan nor Amy Elrod, who lived with him, could recall the password. So we began looking for the instruction manual for the device. We found that, and in the course of finding it, they were able to, and I don't remember how they were able to remember the password. So we were able to, in the instruction manual, said that you could download a software that would allow you to view and download the videos from the device. So I did that on my GBI computer. Downloading the software and installing it was no problem, but due to a poor internet connection, downloading the videos, the download kept failing, and it was going to take an inordinate amount of time if we continued.
All right, so what did you decide to do?
At Mr. Goff's suggestion, I took the passwords, the consent form, and I had the software loaded on my computer, and I went back to where we were working out of the DNR office here in Brunswick, much better internet connection, and was able to download several videos.
All right, tell the jury what the DNR is.
DNR is the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. Their office is right there next to the Sidney Linear Bridge, that nice white building with the tower that's right there on the marsh.
All right, so you're operating out of there.
Yes, ma'am. We were operating out of a little side building out there.
And were you able to then download the Night Owl videos?
I was.
Right. Have you had the opportunity to review State's Exhibit 193, the Night Owl videos?
Yes, ma'am. We actually reviewed the videos at the scene. We were able to look at them, just not download them. And then when I got back to the office, the downloads that we had didn't seem to play very well. So we actually got the DVR later and got the downloads off of them. Again, got the videos off of the DVR specifically again.
Okay, so you kind of did it twice.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
All right, but did anything change?
No, ma'am. The videos that we received, the actual ones that we could actually play, were true and correct to what I saw when I was at 307 Burford that night.
All right. So at this time, the state will tender into evidence State's Exhibit 193.
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
Admitted.
So Agent Kelly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct your attention first to the Night Owl video that ends in 257 within the folder labeled 194. I'm going to stop it right here. What's the jury looking at?
A video of the porch at, and I think I'm getting the address, it's the Bryan residence. I think it's 307 Burford Drive.
And what does it say down here?
Front door.
What does it say up here in the upper right-hand corner?
2/23/2020 at 13:09:45, which is again in layman's time is 1:09:45.
Right. Publishing. We have about 30 seconds here. Why is that?
It appeared that the video system was motion activated, so it only records when there is motion to capture. Usually there's, as anybody's ever walked into like a bathroom with one of those motion detectors, there's a split second before it actually starts, and then if there's not a lot of motion, it turns off.
So when you looked at the Night Owl videos, you didn't have one continuous long video.
No, ma'am, there were short little snippets.
Right. Publishing then within States Exhibit 194, the video ending in 258. All right, so once you had paused it right at the beginning, what time are we looking at up here in the upper right-hand corner?
At 13:11:04, 1:11:04.
All right, so we're talking about 2 minutes later?
Yes, ma'am.
Publishing the video with the last three numbers, 258 within States Exhibit 194. So even though we don't have anything happening here, any motion within the video, it's still taking this 30-second snippet?
Yes, ma'am. My understanding of how the motion video works is once the motion is activated, it takes video for a certain period of time. If there is continual motion, it will continue to record. If it's not, it will stop recording.
And I want to correct the record for a minute. This is States Exhibit 193 is the folder containing the images. States Exhibit 194 was the signed waiver. So if I misspoke earlier, this is the folder labeled 193. We're now going to look at the video with the last three digits, 261. So what is the time on this, the video ending in 261?
13:11:03 is when it starts.
Was there any video with this angle before this?
Not that I recall, no, ma'am. Well, not on that date anyway.
And were you able to then find any video afterwards? Meaning, as Mr. Bryan pulls the truck up, was there another video showing what he actually did out in the street?
No, ma'am.
Now bringing your attention to the video for 278. What time do we have here?
13:58:09.
Same day?
Same day.
So 13:58 hours. When we saw the one with this truck, that was at 13:11 hours.
Yes,
And then publishing video 3:12. What's the time we now have here?
14:40:18.
And do you have any idea why Mr. Bryan is coming back to his residence on a bicycle at
Do
this
not.
time?